Hello everybody, welcome to Mia's Tarot. This is my very first video, and it's going to be on the death of Kim Porter. I know everybody is doing this video because we are just so like, it's just, I mean, it just happened so suddenly. So we're all interested, and we're all sending our prayers to her family. Really quickly, I'll do an introduction video. But really quickly, my name is Quante Mia Johnson. My middle name is Mia, obviously. And I have been studying astrology since the early 2000s. And I have decided to venture off in tarot around 2013-14. So I have been doing it for a while. I meditate a lot, mostly in the morning because that's when I have time. And I will give you more information on me, but please support the channel, subscribe, and my comments are off for right now. I will give my email because I want to. Sometimes people can leave like negative comments, and me starting off, I really don't want to read anything negative at the moment. So if you have any kind words or any constructive criticism, I will leave my email and you can email me. I'm also going to be doing one free reading per person the whole month of December, which is like, you know, my Christmas gift to people who are actually interested and subscribe to the channel. I will give you one free 10-minute reading. 10-minute reading, or I may do like an email. If you send me a question, I can look it up and not look it up, but use my cards and my intuition. Sorry, I'm so tired. But yeah, so I'm just starting off, and I just, would like people to be very supportive of my channel and, my journey in doing tarot and astrology. I will have different things on this channel. I haven't even figured it all out yet, but I feel like this should be the first one on the channel, not because it's popular, but because it was just how I felt when I read the story. And that's mostly what I feel tarot is about, is your intuition and you just having empathy for people, just being a very empathetic spiritual person. And that's what I feel it's about. So the first thing I'm going to look at with Kim Porter is her energy around the time she passed. Like, how did she feel? And for that, I'm using, I don't even have all of my boxes to all of my cards, but I'm using this deck right here, the Power of Love deck. I don't even know how to pronounce this whole name, but but it's this one. Okay, so, but I'm going to look at the energies surrounding Kim Porter. Okay, and I'm going to pick 4 cards to look at the energies. Oh, it's already coming out. Surrounding her. So, let's see. And I always have a stuffy nose. My allergies are always acting up. So if I sound stuffy, just ignore it. Hopefully you can hear what I'm saying. As the channel grows, I'll be able to invest in better, equipment and things so y'all can hear me. So here we go. How it was Kim Porter's energy before she passed. How was Kim Porter's energy before she passed, or around the time she passed? Okay, so I'm trying not to make it super, super long, because after this I am going to do a full, like, tarot reading, but like an astrology spread. Okay, so at the bottom of the deck we have self-love. It says you realize that the love of self is necessary to love another. So she may not have really felt much self-love for herself. Um, or she could have been starting to, and this is what I feel is more on the lines of, because the card was upright. She could have been, deciding to focus on herself. Like, she just was like, I'm not going to, continue to do for everybody anymore, or I really want to do for myself at this moment. It needs to be about me. I'm sorry. That's the energy I'm getting. We have responsibility in reverse. Upright, let me read it. It says, you are aware of the power of your thoughts and the amount of love you express. I think she felt like she didn't want to be so responsible anymore. I think she felt like, I just have too much on me right now. It's just a lot on me. I think that's how she felt. That's what I'm getting with responsibility in reverse. It's like, I don't want to be responsible. And I get that, especially when you're a mother. It's like, it can get overwhelming. Sorry, my nose. It can get very overwhelming. Then we have vision. Vision. So it says, no matter what, you see the bigger picture of a love and just universe. It's like, it's more to life than just taking care of kids. It's more to life than just being Diddy's ex-girlfriend. It's more to life than that. And that's why the self-love was upright. That's how I felt. Like, she was at a point in her life where she wanted it to be about her. She's seen bigger things for herself. Okay? And then we have patience. So it says, you are able to let the universal energy of transformation move according to its own loving rhythm. So I feel like she was being patient. She was taking her time. She's like, in due time, it's going to happen. So she wasn't rushing anything, but I feel like she had a goal in mind of what she wanted to do. That was bigger than, I feel like she wanted to make a name for herself. She didn't only want to be Diddy's ex-girlfriend who takes care of all the damn kids, and commitment. She was going to be committed to whatever this was. So it says, you dedicate yourself to your beliefs wholeheartedly, knowing that love is the essence of your very being. She wanted to do something for herself. She wanted to make a name for herself. So I don't feel like it was a situation where she was like ready to go. Like, I know today I'm going to take myself. I don't feel like it was that type of thing. If it was suicide, it wasn't a suicide on purpose, because I see that, I've been looking on YouTube, and I see that a lot of tarot readers and astrologers, some say suicide, some say homicide, that it could have been. I don't, I've read a little bit, but not a whole lot. I've came up with different theories. I've never recorded it, so I'm going to record it now. But I'm going to do, being that I love astrology as well, I'm going to do her first house all the way to the 12th, leading up to the days or the day of her death, and just to see where her energies were and what comes up. But I don't see that she was ready to go. If it was a suicide, it had to be accidental, because she wasn't ready to go. I feel like she was planning other things for herself. Like she wasn't done yet. She really wanted to put herself out there more in her ideas. Like, I feel like she was creating something. Okay, so we're going to do the first house all the way to the 12th house to see where her energies were. It was like so shocking. And everybody just want to know, like, how? Like, what happened? Oh, boy. So, may her soul rest in peace and her babies be okay, because that is hard. Okay. So, all right. So, we're going to go, I'll move all this stuff out the way. First house. Oh, this is, Lord. I said first house, second house, third house, second house, third house, fourth house, fifth house, sixth house, seventh house. I'm gonna move all this stuff out the way. Eighth house, ninth house, 10th house. We're gonna move a candle over here. One over here. That's the crown chakra candle. The other one is the heart chakra candle. Okay, so first, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, eighth, ninth, 10th, 11, and 12. I will also, for those who don't know, I will also mention what the houses represent. I have my cheat sheet right here. I will also, because even though I know I don't want to be spending time like, let me think. So, but at the bottom is the Six of Wands. So the Six of Wands represents like a temporary victory and appreciation. Like, this is like, oh yeah, everybody likes me. Look at me, you know, like on my high horse, they got on red, they all excited. And, you know, here it's like there could have been a delay, or she didn't feel victorious, or something that she thought was going to turn out victorious did not turn out that way. She could have felt unappreciated by some people. She could have felt like that. So we'll just see what happens, or what the astrology spread is saying, okay? So the first house represents self-appearances, the beginning, the body, first impressions, attitude, and identity, okay? That's what the first house represents. The first house, she has the card of Judgment. Wow. So she was making a huge decision about something. And I feel like people knew that she was making a huge decision about something. And that's what I got from the love energy cards, that she was really focused on her own thing. So sometimes when you focus on your own thing, people could get left behind. You know, they really could. They can get left behind. They could feel like, oh, well, what about me? You know, so, but she was making a huge decision, a huge, huge, huge decision. She felt like it was time for her to make this decision. And like I said, people did know about it because it's her first house. So this is like her self-appearance. And it also represents the beginning of something. So she was making a decision to do something, to start something. And the second house, and the Judgment card also, I feel like it's more to say to this, but I'm going to move on. Okay, the second house also represents money, income, daily routines, values, material possessions, habits, job, work ethic. The second house, Five of Wands. She was going back and forth with people. She was arguing, could have had little petty arguments. Could have been also inner conflict. There was issues with money because this isn't her second house of money. So there were issues with money. Somebody did not agree with her decision that she made. And that's how I feel about it. Somebody really didn't agree. She was changing up her routine a little bit. And I feel like people, there could have been people who was just like, no, you shouldn't do this. And she was going back and forth with people about it. But this also does, in the house of money, this does represent conflict. And, you know, too many people in your business, you know. So in her third house, which represents the mind, thinking, communication, siblings, social activity, interests in early education, we have the Wheel of Fortune. So she was changing. So she was changing a lot. Like, I mean, she was changing the way that she was thinking. She was changing whatever she could have been. It could have been something she was doing for a while, some type of skill or whatever she did. I'm not sure. I know she modeled and she did some acting, but she was going to a whole new venture. I feel like it's something else that she was deciding to do. I don't know exactly what this was, but it could have been something else that she was deciding to do, because the wheel is a Wheel of Fortune upright is a great card to have. And I also feel she probably was like very spiritual. You know, she has a lot of major cards. You know, this little measly card is nothing compared to this card. So it's like, I mean, it was basically like, y'all could come at me all y'all want to. I'm going to do what I want to do. It could have been that type of situation. Then you go on to the fourth house, which represents home, roots, family, self-care, emotions, foundations, mother, I said children. No, mother, women. Fourth house. She could have had a relationship with somebody. She could have had a relationship with somebody. This is in her fourth house. It represents emotions. It represents self-care in her home. So she could have, I don't know if she did, but with the Lovers card in the fourth house, she definitely could have had a relationship with somebody. The person could have been in her house, staying in her house with her. And this is also surrounding the time of her death. They could have been, whoever this is in this Lovers card that she connects with was with her in that house that day. I feel that they were. She was definitely making some major changes. And I feel like she had a relationship or somebody that she just really, really connected to. And they were in her house with her. They were there. I don't know if they were there when she actually passed, but they were around that day at some time. Moving on to the fifth house, which represents romance, love affairs, creativity, fertility, childlike spirit, self-expression, and drama. The Two of Cups in reverse. So, oh, I'm sorry, my nose. The Two of Cups in reverse in the fifth house. So whoever she was dating, they weren't seeing eye to eye about something. Whoever she was dating, it could be a business partner as well. I feel like it's a relationship. They weren't seeing eye to eye about something. They weren't seeing eye to eye. I don't know who this person is. This card represents Gemini. I don't know if they were Gemini. But as you can see, this also, the second house also represents your home life as well. Just in a different way. And there were arguments. There were petty arguments. Somebody who was around her house or in her vicinity, she wasn't really seeing eye to eye with. Okay? I'm sorry. Lord. She wasn't seeing eye to eye with. She really, really cared about this person. This person was like her soulmate. I don't even know if it never came out that she had a man or a boyfriend. I mean, so I don't know, but I see that there was some type of relationship or somebody that she really had a connection with, but they didn't get along. You know, maybe when it came to her creativity, they didn't agree because this is the fifth house. So maybe whatever she was trying to do or create, they didn't agree, and it kind of came into like the romantic situation. It kind of spilled into their relationship because, you know, the home life, the personal stuff is good. But when you get to the fifth house and the creativity and the romance and all that, like lust, romance shit, it's like not working. They're not seeing eye to eye. So whatever she was about to do, somebody just was like, nah, I don't think you should do that. And it caused issues and tension in the relationship, whoever this person is. The sixth house represents health, fitness, systems, pets, work habits, organization, sense of usefulness, and service given. So sixth house is the Ace of Wands in reverse. So this is an opportunity that she was delaying. Like, I feel like she wanted to get on this thing, but it was being delayed. It was it could have been her health wasn't so good. It also, you know, this is the sixth house is the house of health and fitness, and I don't feel like she was motivated. Like, maybe the arguments was tiring, and the fact that she everybody or this person didn't really agree with what she was doing creatively, because this is also creativity with the Ace of Wands represents an opportunity to do something creative. And maybe she just didn't feel like it delayed a lot of things, and she didn't feel motivated. She didn't feel, her energy was very low as well. I also put in my astrology notes what parts of the body it represents. And with the sixth house, it represents the abdomen and digestive system. So if it's something if something came out to do with her abdomen or digestive system, I wouldn't be surprised, because something she was putting in her body was slowing her down. It could have been it too. I'm not sure. I'm just saying this is the house of health, and she had the Ace of Wands in reverse. So her vitality was low. She wasn't motivated. And like I said, it also represents the abdomen or digestive system. So there could have been some issues there where, she was having issues in that area. Okay. Moving on to the seventh house, which represents relationships, marriage, contracts, and business partners. So this is her relationship house. The seventh house, we have the King of Pentacles. So there was an issue with money. Somebody that she was with or had a relationship with had an issue with money. Like, they may have felt like it's gonna cost too much money. Or I mean, the King of Pentacles in reverse is a little more greedy. He's a little more greedy. I don't want to say gold digger ish, but he is just egotistical, not egotistical in like a King of Wands way, but this man can be very selfish and when it comes to money, and he could do things that benefits him. He could be more about materialism than about taking care of things like, oh, I need my shiny cars, and I need my beautiful house, and it's gonna cost way, way, way too much money. Now, I don't know, I don't know who she had around her. I don't know if, Diddy represents any of these cards or not. I'm not putting that out there, or saying that if I'm not sure. However, whoever she was a business partner with, in a relationship with, I really feel like it was a soulmate or intimate relationship. This person was not happy. And it's all in her astrology spread so far. They weren't happy. They were not happy. They're right over top of the Ace of Wands. They weren't happy about it. They could have felt like they were losing money. They could have felt like their lifestyle was going to change if she made this big ass decision that she was making. They weren't happy. It's opposed her Judgment card right here. It's opposed her first house. And he's in reverse. So they were not happy. It could have been, I don't know, it could have been somebody she was working with, but they weren't happy. And that's all I can say. Okay. Moving on to the eighth house. This is merging, sex, intimacy, shared finances, taxes, loans, joint ventures, secrets, like mystery. The eighth house, we have the Queen of Wands. So, this is another woman. This is another woman. And she could have known about another woman. She could have. She could have known about another woman. This woman was hidden for some reason, or wasn't talked about, or was kept secret. But she could have known about another woman with the Queen of Wands. She could have known about something. Yeah. Because the eighth house represents mystery. The eighth house, like I said, represents sex and intimacy. So she could have found out about another woman that this partner was sleeping with. Because the Queen of Wands represents that strong, beautiful, cool chick, you know, and she could be like one of the guys. She represents Leo, Sagittarius, and Aries, and men find her very attractive. And she's in the eighth house, so there was a sexual relationship definitely with this woman, and she could have found out about it. She's upright though, so I mean she's not on, you know, she's not. She's just, I feel like she's kind of innocent in the whole thing, you know. That's what I feel like. She could have found out definitely about another woman, and or this could have been a woman that wasn't revealed to us, or somebody around her that wasn't revealed to us. And it was people around her the day that she passed, because there's people coming up all up and through this. It definitely could have been a woman and a man around her the day that she passed. Definitely could be. Definitely could be. We are moving on to her ninth house, which is travel, wisdom, philosophy, religion, learning, higher learning, law, and education. We have the Four of Cups in reverse. So she decided to take an opportunity. That's what this is. Right here, she was thinking about it, and she decided to take an opportunity. This opportunity could be somewhere that she didn't live, where she had to travel. This opportunity could have been to study something. You know, some people get older and be like, I want to go back to school. I want to, you know, Ray J just decided to go to a college. I can't remember which one, but Ray J just decided to go and take courses at college. Sometimes it's like that. Like, I want to go and do something else. Whatever this thing was, it was big and it meant a lot to her, and she wanted to go do it. And it's in her ninth house of higher education. So she could have wanted to go away and study something. She could have wanted to take on something that required her to not be like a stay-at-home mom with the kids, where she would have to travel and she wouldn't be able to take the kids all the time, you know. It could have been something like that, but she made the decision to do it because emotionally she was connected to this decision. Moving on to the 10th house, which represents career, long-term plans, public image, reputation, fame, and structure. We have the Ace of Swords. So she didn't tell, like, this represents her public image. So to a lot of people, she could have seemed like she didn't say what she wanted to do. But deep down inside, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4. And she probably didn't reveal that she was with somebody or in a relationship, because nobody seen her. So she didn't reveal the truth to the public with the Ace of Swords in reverse. We didn't see what we seen when we see in the public eye with Kim Porter wasn't the truth. It wasn't how she really was. It wasn't the truth. Because her public image is the Ace of Swords in reverse. She wasn't honest. Like, hanging out with her kids and, you know, acting like everything is okay and she's happy was not the truth. So what she was putting out to the public was just basically what she wanted them to see, and it wasn't her truth at all. It really wasn't her truth. And the 10th house also represents men, you know, could represent like men in your life and structure. And it could have been a man that wasn't honest with her. There could have been a man around her that wasn't honest with her. And if this is another man besides Diddy, oh my God, because Diddy was not honest with her a lot through their relationship. And I have researched so many videos. I did it last night before I even did her reading. And just to get a little more information about her relationships and, you know, what she did and everything like that. And this man had women and overlapping women while she was still there. And it's no, no shade to Diddy. He is Scorpio. Not saying all Scorpios do it, but you're a Scorpio. And it's just like, if you got another man doing this shit to you, oh my God, like, my Lord. And this also represents structure. Like, she was unclear. Like, she didn't feel like she had any structure or stability. And it's crazy because some people believe that these people have all this money. Diddy is her baby daddy of 3 kids, and this, and people believe that you have all this money and you're well, she probably did have money, but that makes you okay and that makes you stable. No, because mentally she wasn't. This is mental, and it's in the house of Capricorn, and which is the 10th house. If you know astrology, that's why I'm giving you the houses and what they mean, because some people don't know. She wasn't mentally stable. She didn't feel mentally stable. Like, in the, she was dishonest in her appearance. And that's normal for people who don't want people in their business. It's like, I don't want you to know what's really going on, which is upright. I don't want you to know. And, there could have been people she needed to cut off, because when it's upright, it's a new beginning, but it's challenging, I'm sorry about my nose, stuffy, but it's challenging. But in reverse, it's like, that you need to cut some people off. That you need to start over with something, and take a new opportunity. But there would be things that she would have to cut out her life in order to take an opportunity. She appeared like everything was okay, but mentally she was not very clear, on a lot of things. Or she could have made the decision, However, towards the public image, she did, as far as her public image, she didn't want nobody to know she made the decision. That is also opposing her relationship house, which is ruled by Cancer, her 4th house. That's opposing that too. So it could have been where she could have felt the person, like I said, the person that she was with wasn't very honest. She wasn't very clear about this relationship. She was in love, and she loved whoever this person was. But even if it's a business situation, but with them in her 4th house, I don't think so. Moving on to the 11th house, and that is groups, friends, social awareness, technology, hopes, wishes, in her future. We have the World in reverse. So she was ready to move, and I feel like she wanted to go somewhere else. Wherever she lived, she didn't want to live. She didn't want to be there. She wanted to, like, venture out somewhere. That's what I feel. She wanted to venture out. The World in reverse, she just wanted to be free. She wanted to go and do what she wanted to do. And I felt like she just felt like, stagnant. I did. I feel like she just felt stagnant, and her friends knew. I feel like she expressed this to her friends, that she wanted something different or a change. Because it came up in her groups in her 11th house. So her hopes and wishes was to just do something else. The World in reverse, the World upright, is basically things coming to an end, but it's not a bad end. It's things coming to, like, a conclusion. Like, okay, we have done this round circle. We're done. Let's move on to something else. It's like when you graduate high school and go to college. It's like, okay, I'm moving on. I have to, these are some people that I probably won't see anymore, but I'm starting a new chapter in my life. And I feel like she wanted to start a new chapter doing something. That's why the Judgment came up in her 1st house, because she made a major decision. She wanted to move on and do something else. She really did. But I don't feel like everybody agreed. I don't feel like everybody was okay. And I feel like everybody wasn't okay. It was due to some type of money. And money situation, or because of money, because it's coming up too. But I really feel like she wanted to do something else. She was ready to transition and graduate to something else. Like, it's like I'm hearing the term promoting yourself. Like, okay, I've done this, but I want to do this now. You know, she could have been networking with people about, you know, that had things to, that was doing the things that she wanted to do. She could have been definitely networking with people. Yeah. So in her 12th house, which represents endings, healing, closure, spirituality, solitude, karma, was hidden in the subconscious. We have the sun. The sun. The sun in the 12th house, she was ready to bring a lot of things to light. And I feel like that's why the Judgment card was here. She was ready. A lot of things that she hid, that she didn't talk about, that was in her subconscious, she was ready to let people know. She was ready to bring it out. And I remember I said she was very spiritual. I feel like she really was very spiritual. And she could have wanted to bring out things that were hidden from her. Like, maybe she's tired of not saying anything, getting cheated on, or people, you know, taking advantage of her and not saying anything. Maybe she was planning on bringing something out. She definitely could have been suffering mentally. But to be honest, I feel like, oh wow, the candle made a noise. I don't see a whole lot of sickness. You know, I don't see a whole lot of sickness. I know that it was proven that she was sick. The doctor said she was sick, whatever. But I don't see a whole lot of it. You know, I see where mentally and physically she was a little drained. Like I said, it could have been problems with her digestive system, her abdomen area, in some way. But I feel like she really, really made a strong, strong decision. And maybe the effects of that really not panning out the way she wanted to could have been a bit depressing for her. I'm going to clarify her 6th house just to look at her health. That's what we're going to do. We're going to look at her health. But I'm going to put all of this, and I'm going to leave the Ace of Wands out so we can look at her health. We're going to look at her health, and then we're going to ask the cards, how did she pass? And we're going to see what we get. But I just feel like physically she was drained. I do feel that. Like, she just was drained. She wanted to like do stuff, but I felt like she was drained. Let's clarify the Ace of Wands and what was going on with her health. What was going on with her health? She did have a lot of anxiety with the 9 of Swords. She had a hell of a lot of anxiety. She was depressed. She was very depressed. This is, I pulled for her 6th house and what was going on. And I felt like she was depressed every single damn day. And she did not feel good at all. And whatever was going on in her thoughts caused her to actually feel sick or be sick. And, that's what I feel, and I'm sticking to it. A lot of people did not know she was suffering this bad. I feel like, well, publicly or like associates. But I feel like people that were close to her did know that she was going through a lot. But a lot of it she did go through alone, and she probably didn't want people to know. Mostly at night, is what I see. With like I said, with the Ace of Wands in reverse, she wasn't physically motivated to do anything. She wasn't physically motivated to start anything. With the Queen of Swords in reverse, I feel like she had a lot of anxiety, a lot of depression. She was, like scatterbrained. Like she didn't really know. She was like scatterbrained, unsure, and I felt like she was upset. And the Queen of Swords is looking at this opportunity. She was upset. She was upset about something. She was very, very upset, and it was causing her not to want to physically do anything. With the Magician in reverse, this is also nervous system. This also could be like depression as well. She has a lot of like cards that represent like communication. So she probably didn't want to talk about it at all. She didn't want to talk about it. Let me see, third house. I feel like she was physically sore too. Like her body hurt. She could have been physically sore with this. I just feel like it's the physical body. Like it hurts. It's all because of her thoughts, though. It's all because she was mentally stressed the fuck out. With the Fool upright. She wanted to take a risk. I felt like she wanted to do something. She wanted to start over with something, but she just couldn't. I felt like she was just too mentally distraught, physically worn out, and she just couldn't do it. There could have been somebody younger than her around her trying to help her. This could have been a younger male or one of her kids that was around her, or trying to help her. This also could have been a male trying to apologize to her about something. She was having issues with somebody. She really was having issues with somebody. God bless her. She'd been through so much with Puff Daddy, Diddy Combs, whatever his name is, that I just pray that, it's like when you're so giving, it's hard because you try to be so giving and nice, and you start you end up screwing yourself over. It's really fucking sad that people are not that appreciative. Or, and I don't know if this is her case. This is just what I'm seeing in the cards. But god damn, I feel like that there was somebody around her that she just did not get along with. They didn't see eye to eye, and she was like in love with this person. She really was. And the top row is going to be her relationship with Diddy at the time of her death, or the time of her passing, her relationship with Diddy, because everybody's like, oh, he's so distraught and this and that. And I do believe he's distraught. There's no way he couldn't be distraught. But, you just never know. So I'm going to pull 4 cards for her relationship with Diddy and 4 cards on how she could have passed. What was it? I don't know. Like I said, this is speculation, but I'm going with what the cards say and how the cards are guiding me, because the reading's getting pretty long. So I'm going to, oh Lord, her relationship with Diddy, Puffy Combs, Sean, whatever. And how Kim Porter could have passed. What could have happened to her? her relationship with Sean Puffy, Diddy Combs, whatever they want to call him, he won't call himself. Wheel of Fortune. So there was some type of change that was going on with them. That was happening, but it was a good change. So this is not a bad card. There was some good changes going on around them, or a change that it could be a change that she wanted, but so far it was a good change. Yeah, the Eight of Cups. So she could have wanted to go back to him, or he could have wanted to go back to her, or it could have been a situation that she didn't want to leave. So it could have been changing where she could have felt like she wanted to go back to him. I mean, he did break up with Cassie, but then I heard he had some other little skinny